Majority Leader.
I ask unanimous consent to call the quorum be terminated.
Without objection.
I ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to executive session and the Health Committee be discharged from any further consideration of Presidential Nomination 1376, a list of 201 nominees in the Public Health Service, that the nomination be confirmed, the motion reconsider be made, laid on the table, there be no any action or debate, no further motions be in order to the nomination, any related statements be printed in the record, and President Obama be immediately notified of the Senate's action.
Without objection.
I ask unanimous consent the Senate consider the following nomination, calendar number 226. That the nomination be confirmed, the motion reconsider be considered made and laid on the table. There be no intervening action or debate, and no further motion be in order to the nomination. Any related statements be printed in the record. That the President be immediately notified of the Senate's action, and the Senate then resume legislative session.
Without objection.
I now ask that we proceed to H. Conres 108.
Clerk will report.
H. Conres 108, permitting the use of the rotunda of the Capitol for a ceremony as part of the commemoration of the Days of Remembrance of Victims of the Holocaust.
Without objection, the Senate will proceed to the measure.
I unanimous consent the concurrent resolution be agreed to. The motion reconsider be laid on the table. There be no intervening action or debate. These statements relating to this matter be placed in the record at the appropriate place as if read.
Without objection.
I now ask that we proceed to S-Res 404.
Clerk will report.
S-Res 404, recognizing the life and work of war correspondent Marie Colvin and other courageous journalists in war zones.
Without objection, the Senate will proceed to the matter.
I ask unanimous consent the resolution be agreed to, the preamble be agreed to, the motion reconsider be laid on the table. There be no intervening action or debate. Any further statements be placed in the record as if read.
Without objection.
I now ask unanimous consent that we proceed to S-Res 405.
Clerk will report.
S-Res 405, authorizing the taking of a photograph in the chamber of the United States Senate.
Without objection, the Senate will proceed to the matter.
I ask unanimous consent the resolution be agreed to. Motion reconsider be laid on the table, and there be no intervening action or debate.
Without objection.
Mr. President, I'm told there are 3 bills at the desk due for first reading. I would ask you to have the clerk report all 3.
Clerk will read the titles of the bills for the first time.
H.R. 5, an act to improve patient access to health care services, and so forth. S-2230, a bill to reduce the deficit by imposing a minimum effective tax rate for high-income taxpayers. S-2231, a bill to amend the Federal Credit Union Act, and so forth, and for other purposes.
Mr. President, I now ask for second reading on each of the 3, but object to my own request.
The objection is heard. The bills will be read for the second time on the next legislative day.
I ask unanimous consent that the appointment at the desk appear separately in the record as if made by the chair.
Without objection.
I ask unanimous consent that notwithstanding the adjournment of the Senate, the record remain open until 7:15 p.m. this evening for the submission of written colloquies.
Without objection.
I ask unanimous consent that when the Senate completes the business day, that the Senate adjourn until Monday, March 26 at 2 p.m. Following the prayer and the pledges, journal proceedings be approved to date. Morning hour be deemed expired, and the time for the 2 leaders will be reserved for use later in the day. The following interleader remarks, the Senate be in a period of morning business until 4:30 p.m. The senators, senators permitted to speak for up to 10 minutes each. Following morning business, Senate resumed consideration of the motion to proceed to calendar number 337, the repeal of big oil bill tax subsidies, with the time until 5:30 p.m. equally divided and controlled by the 2 leaders or the designees. Further, that the cloture vote on the motion to proceed to S-2204 be at 5:30 p.m. on Monday, and that if cloture is not invoked, there be 2 minutes of debate equally divided in the usual form prior to the cloture vote on the motion to proceed to S-1789.
Without objection.
So, Mr. President, there will be 2 roll call votes on Monday at about 5:30. The first vote will be a cloture. The first vote will be a cloture vote on the motion to proceed to S-2204. And if cloture is not invoked, there will be a second cloture vote on the motion to proceed to the Postal Reform Bill. If there is no further business to come before the Senate, I ask to adjourn of the previous order.
The Senate stands adjourned until March 26th at 2 p.m.
several votes in the Senate today.